This season could go down as one of the greatest seasons in MLS history. You had the Seattle Sounders winning the CONCACAF Champions League. Then you have the return of the US Open Cup, and the MLS will most likely win it, or at least they're the favorite to win it, unless Louisville, Sacramento, or Omaha pulls a Cinderella move and win it all, which is very possible, by the way. Louisville, Sacramento, I know Louisville and Sacramento is definitely not a pushover. I don't know much about Omaha, but I'm definitely going to watch them this Wednesday. But I've seen Louisville play, I've seen Sacramento play. Both of those two teams, they play like MLS teams. Like, even though they're in the USL, their style of play is like a MLS, a major professional football club. Those two clubs, Louisville and Sacramento, those are not two clubs to look over. Anyhow, in spite of such, the MLS will most likely still win the US Open Cup. So you win the CONCACAF Champions League. Hypothetically speaking, you win the US Open Cup. And also another element to make this season as one of the greatest is that you have two of your biggest superstars in a major city playing against each other. We were blessed to see part one of the Chicharito versus Vela, the Chicharito Vela part one in the first El Tráfico matchup of the season. Now we're going to see another El Tráfico matchup this season. And the thing that makes this so interesting, like, there's a possibility that we'll see 4 El Tráfico matches. There'll be 4 episodes of the El Tráfico rivalry this season. 3 times. It's definitely going to happen 3 times, because the two teams play each other twice in the regular season, and then the US Open Cup, they happen to play each other again. So it's definitely going to be a 3 times. Now, for that 4th time, I don't know if they'll face each other in the playoffs, but there's no doubt in my mind that both teams are going to make the playoffs. Now, and there is a possibility. I don't know how it's going. I don't know what seedings and stuff they're going to be in for it to happen, but there's a possibility that they'll face each other in the playoffs also. So there is a possibility that we can see Chicharito versus Vela 4 times this season. But the question is Chicharito and Vela going to play in the round of 16 of the US Open Cup? Because so far during the US Open Cup, we have not seen them play in any matches. We have not seen them play in any US Open Cup matches. But is that going to change for the round of 16? I hope so, because this is good for American soccer. Because look, a lot of people, listen, MLS, USL, NWSL, listen, you're in a situation where a lot of people don't know you yet. I mean, yes, some people are aware that your games are played on ESPN+. Yes, some people are aware that you exist, but you're still not popular. Listen, the Seattle Sounders are the Continental Champions, the 2022 Continental Champions. And that didn't even get major headlines the following day. NBA playoffs was being talked about more. NFL draft, NFL free agency was being talked about more. Despite the Sounders making a big accomplishment for not only the MLS, but the entire American soccer brand, the Sounders still didn't steal the national headlines. That just goes to show you a lot of people still don't care about American soccer. In order for you to change that narrative, in order for you to change that perspective, American soccer, whenever you have an opportunity to showcase your superstars, to showcase your talent, you must do it. I don't know why Chicharito and Vela have not been participating in the US Open Cup, but for this game's sake, they need to show up. Whether they play 10 minutes, whether they play 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they don't have to play the whole game. But we need to see them. We need to see them going at it again. These are 2 of the biggest superstars in American soccer. In the MLS, I told you in my last video, when I talked about the El Tráfico. El Tráfico rivalry, that is your bread and butter. That is your prize jewel. That's your Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. That's your Yankee-Red Sox rivalry. That's your Pittsburgh Steelers-Baltimore Ravens rivalry. El Tráfico is for you, MLS. So whenever you have the opportunity to showcase this rivalry to the national stage, you have to do so. You have to showcase your stars. This is when you have to have a conversation with your stars and tell them, like, look, this is bigger than you. This is bigger than your brand. This is bigger than your name. We are trying to grow the popularity of American soccer. We are trying to grow the popularity of traditional football. And when people see you on the internet screen more often, or they see you on the TV screen more often, you're the one that they'll remember. You're the one that will be the American legend. Even though you're Mexican, but because we see you representing the red, white, and blue playing in the MLS, you will be remembered as an American soccer legend. These are the kind of conversations that you got to have with Chicharito, Carlos Vela, Douglas Costa. These are the conversations, MLS, that you got to have with them. Now, do they have to play the whole game? No. Like I said, it can be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be more than 30 minutes. You want to sub them in and out periodically throughout the match? That's fine. But we need to see them play for a good amount of time. A lot of people don't know how big this El Tráfico rivalry is. MLS, this is the rivalry where you make your money. This is the rivalry where you steal the headlines. And the fact that we have two of the greatest, well, I'm not sure if they're the greatest Mexican football players of all time, but those two guys are among the greatest they're among the greatest Mexican football players of all time. And the fact that they play in your league, MLS, you have to showcase this talent. You have to showcase this stardom. MLS, the stars is what attracts people to your league. It's not necessarily the quality of play. Eventually people will start to gain more interest and learn more about the quality of play. But MLS, the thing that attracts people to your league is the stars. Let me talk about the NBA playoffs for an example right now. In my opinion, the NBA playoffs has been extremely boring this year. The only person that has got me to really pay attention to the NBA playoffs this year has been Steph Curry. Because LeBron James is not in it, my attention shifted to Steph Curry. If Steph Curry was not playing in these playoffs, I would not be paying attention to this playoff at all. See, I'm not paying attention to the quality of basketball and X's and O's and how the game should be played. The only reason why I'm still watching the playoffs is because of Steph Curry. Why? Steph Curry is a superstar. Nope. John Morant, Luka Doncic, they are not superstars. They're not on Steph Curry's level. And it's not even close right now. If it wasn't for Steph Curry, myself, including many others, we will not be paying attention to these games. So MLS, you have another opportunity to attract people to your league. We need to see Carlos Vela and Chicharito. I don't care if they play 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We need to see these two guys go at it again. And to the referees, this match is not about you. You MLS referees need to learn something. When two superstars are on the field at the same time going at it, you take yourself out of this game. This is not about you. Because the MLS is in a situation, American soccer is in a situation where it needs to attract more people. It needs more support. Now the support is growing, but it's not there yet. The fact that you have a team as the Seattle Sounders winning a continental championship, not a national championship, but a continental championship, and the fact that it didn't steal the headlines, That's alarming, and that tells you something. So when you see two superstars going at it on the field, let them go at it. If Chicharito or Vela scores on all sides, if they score the goal, it's still a goal. When two superstars are going at it, MLS refs, US soccer refs, you got to throw the rules out the window. The rules of the game changes when superstars are playing on the field. Because at this point, it's not about the integrity of the game. It's about growing the popularity of the game. It's about attracting viewers. That's what it's about. Now, if you're a soccer purist, you don't want to hear this. That's fine. But soccer purists, it's not about you either. When two superstars are on the field going at it, it's not about soccer purists. It's not about you referees. It's not about the integrity of the game. You're trying to attract people to watch your sport. That's what this is about. This is about entertainment. Now, I'm not sure if Vela and Chicharito understand the importance of this US Open Cup. They probably don't view this tournament as being very important, which is why you, US soccer, American soccer, whoever the leader is of American soccer, Don Garber, commissioner of the MLS, y'all have to explain to the players, to the remaining players from MLS and USL that's in this tournament, in this cup, it's in-season tournament. Y'all have to explain to them the importance of this cup. This cup is a national championship. You see, it's more important, it's more prestigious than the MLS Cup Championship. Why? Because the MLS Cup is just limited to one league. You're the champion of one league. The MLS Cup playoffs, you're the champion of one league. The Supporter Shield, you're the regular season champion of one league. But when it comes to the US Open Cup, you are the national champion. You are the American champion. You're just not limited to one league, but when you're the US Open Cup champion, you're the champion of the MLS and the USL combined. You are the best team in the entire United States. Right now, you have the Seattle Sounders. They're the best team in the entire North American continent. And then you have the US Open Cup. You are the champion of the entire country, not just MLS, not just USL, but you are the second best team in America. You are the American champion. So it's in this order. It's for MLS, it's in this order. CONCACAF Champions League, then US Open Cup, then MLS Cup, then Supporter Shield, in that order. Now, when the Leagues Cup take place next year, I don't know what order that's going to go in. I'll have to redo the orders starting next year. But for this year, CONCACAF Champions League, US Open Cup, MLS Cup champion, Supporter Shield, that's the regular season champion. You know, and this is what makes soccer in America the best sport. There are multiple chances for teams to win, to get a championship. This is why the day after decision day should be called Doomsday. You know, in the NFL, the day after the regular season is called Black Monday. That's when a lot of coaches and GMs and a lot of people in the front office, they lose their jobs. The MLS should have Doomsday. Doomsday will be after decision day. Because, listen, from an analytics standpoint, this season you have 4 opportunities to win a championship. You couldn't get a CONCACAF Champions League. You couldn't win that. You couldn't win a US Open Cup. You couldn't get a Supporter Shield. You didn't get a MLS Cup. You couldn't get at least 1 out of 4 championship title. And you saying you should still keep your job? This is not like the NFL when you only have 1 championship title to chase, which is the Super Bowl. This is not like the NBA where you only have 1 championship title to chase, which is the NBA Finals. This is not like Major League Baseball where you only have the World Series. This is not like the NHL where you only have the Stanley Cup. In the MLS, you have 4 opportunities to at least get a championship, to at least get something, and you can't get nothing? You gotta go. That's the analytics. We have to find your replacement. Like, the MLS is making it easy for you to win something, and you can't get at least one. We're not saying you got to get two, but you can't at least get one. You can't at least get one, and for us to, and when you get that one, we can build off of that one that you have. That's why NFL, they have their Black Monday. MLS should have Doomsday. Doomsday would be the day after Decision Day. You have Decision Day, and then you have Doomsday, where there should be a lot of GM jobs, a lot of front office jobs, a lot of coaching jobs should be available. It's really time to start putting the pressure on the front office people and the coaches to get this thing right, because this sport is not going to grow if the MLS continue to have average, mediocre teams that's not trying hard to win championships. So now it's going to be the time to start putting pressure on people in the front office, the coaches, because in order for this sport to grow, the MLS being the face of American soccer, MLS teams have to perform better. You can't have teams in big markets like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, Austin, what other big city? Philadelphia, the New England region. You can't have teams in these big regions performing bad. You just can't do that. Anyhow, U.S. soccer, we need to see Vela, Chicharito Part 2 in the U.S. Open Cup, because it's bigger than them. This is about the growth of American soccer. That's what this is about. So whatever personal brand they may have, personal ambitions, you got to put that to the side. We cannot worry about injuries. Injuries is part of the game. It's part of the game. If you don't get injured in the U.S. Open Cup, what made you think you won't get injured on the following weekend? Okay, what? You don't play, one of the players don't play on Wednesday's game because they're trying to avoid injury. What made you think you won't get injured when you play on Saturday or Sunday? You can't run away from injuries. It's part of the game. I don't care if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. We need to see Chicharito, Carlos Vela, and Douglas Costa on that field for the round of 16, the El Tráfico game, round of 16, this Wednesday.
Blood on the highway. Oh, that I mentioned it's my strain. I ain't got time for the mind games. She giving me brain like a migraine. You can look, but you can't find me. I lace up my boots in the night cell. Might as well. Serving that shit to my clientele. Might as well. We all a product to try and fail. I got the dope as a fire sale. I hit the booth and leave fire trails. I got that shit to make iron melt. Trying to get Richie is Lionel. Rolling my dozer for Kyle. I'm from Chicago, it's been a drill.